This is the inside of the Swift Conqueror 570. If I firstly move to the main control panel above the entrance door, we can turn the 12 volt on just here. Once we've done this, we can turn the water pump on just here. As this has an onboard water tank, if the water is low, as soon as you turn the water pump on, it will let you know. To silence it, just press view levels. View levels will also give you an indication of the condition of the leisure battery, and if you were hitched up to a tow vehicle, it would also give you the condition of that as well. To fill the onboard water tank from the outside, turn this on just here, and it will then make it 12 volt live on the outside to pull water from the aqua roll into the tank. Here is letting us know that we are hooked up to mains electricity and that we are using the leisure battery. If we now come down to the Aldi control panel for the heating and hot water system, on and off just here. On initial startup, it will let you know if you're hooked up to main supply, and it will also give you an internal temperature. If I now press menu, it will bring up its basic functions just here. So the top one here is the thermostat for the heating, literally just plus and minus, just to pick whatever temperature you'd like it to be inside the caravan. It will drop all the way down to 5 degrees for frost protection and go right the way up to a rather warm 30 degrees. After that, we have hot water. Hot water will always be generated as soon as you give this control panel a power source. If there is no water in the boiler, it will not come on, so it will not get damaged. We can also, by pressing the plus button, perform a boost on the boiler. If you do perform a boost, it will turn the heating off as it needs to use that extra power. The boost facility is very handy if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want hot water extremely quickly. So to now actually fire the system up, we need to give it a power source. As you can see, they're both off at the moment. If we want to run the system on main supply, just come to the lightning strike and press plus, and we can run on a low 1 kilowatt, a 2 kilowatt or 3 kilowatt. So this is just dependent on the amperage of the site you're on to try and avoid tripping. If we don't have main supply, we can run on gas. And if we have both power sources available to us, we can actually run in dual fuel. Dual fuel again is very handy, especially in the winter months if you want to get up to temperature nice and quickly. It will only use the gas as it is required. If we now press the little picture of the spanner, we will then go into the settings menu just here. So we have clock set just here. We then have a night temperature mode just here, so we can set the temperature that we want it to be during that period, and then we set the actual period just here. So when you want night mode to start, whether it's for all days of the week, and then when it ends. We then have the 24-hour timer just here. So again, this is for during the daytime. So again, just set your time, whether or not it's for individual days of the week, just here. And then literally turn it on and off. Pump settings, just leave it set on thermal. That way the circulation pump for the heating system is only working as it's required. If it's left on continuous, the pump will just constantly run for no apparent reason. Pump mode, just leave it on auto. And pump level 2 is about correct. We then have antimicrobial just here. So if we turn this on, we also have to have night mode active as well. And then in the middle of the night, the boiler will then come on, heat up rapidly to kill off any bacteria that might be in the system. Temperature adjust just here, so if you don't think the thermostat is quite correct, you can just slightly alter it. Key beeps just here. Brightness of the screen just here. Language. You can put a key lock on here if you've got children to avoid them altering it. External start, you do have to have a additional SIM box added if you want to be able to control this via an app. And then we have the amp meter just here. So if you know how many amps the site is that you're on, you can select it on here. And then it doesn't matter what you're running the system on. When it comes to electricity, it will control itself to avoid tripping. Service, more for the workshop, but it will let you know what everything is active. So we have activated functions just there, and then we have the temperature of everything just there. If we now come to the bench seat just here and we remove the cushions, and we now lift up, you can see the onboard water tank just here. We can gain access just here if we want to clean it out. You'll also see that we have the water pump just here and the surge dampener. The boiler itself just sits here. And then if we now flap down just here, you will see we have all the drain valves, etc. for the boiler and for the actual onboard water tank as well. We have this helpful little sticker just here to let you know where you need your levers depending on what you're doing. So at the moment I am using the water just from the aqua roll directly to the boiler and then to the taps. I'm bypassing the onboard water tank. So you'll see there, external supply, we have the white lever across like so, and then we have both drain taps in the closed position. If we want to use water from the internal tank once it's been filled, we literally just turn like so. And then when it comes to draining the system down, make sure the water pump is turned off, and then just literally just flap up here to drain the water out of the onboard water tank, and then drain this one here to drain the water out of the boiler. To refill, flap them back over again like so. As you can hear, I have still left the water pump on, so it's now literally drawing the water back out of the aqua roll and filling the boiler back up again. Once the boiler is full, the pump will then turn itself back off again. You may need to open the taps up to allow the air out of the system. They'll cough, they'll splutter. Once they're running freely, close them back off again, and then the system will then be fully reprimed. We have the control board for the motor mover just here, and then we have the battery charger just here. If we now move across to the other bench seat and again remove the cushions, we have storage underneath here. We also have the box for the alarm, and we have some 12-volt fuses just here. They are all labelled up, and they are for more bits and bobs on the outside of the caravan, like marker lights, etc. Tucked down here we have the PIR sensor for the alarm. From time to time you will get a little green flashing light just indicating that everything is fine. If the internal battery in the alarm is getting low, instead of getting a green flashing light, you'll get a red light just indicating that it needs charging. The way the internal battery is charged is from the leisure battery itself. So if the leisure battery is low, you'll just need to plug yourself back in to charge it back up. Obviously on this caravan also has solar as well, so that will help. If you did ignore it whilst it was flashing red, it will then start to chirp every now and then to remind you to charge it back up. If we now come to the locker, we have in here the consumer unit. So up the top here we have the trip switches. So we have the 3 individual MCBs, main RCD and test button just here. They are numbered up and then correspond on the sticker just here. At the bottom we then have the 12-volt fuses, and again they are all numbered up and correspond on the sticker just there. We have isolator switches just here. This one here is just a spare, so it doesn't actually need to be on. This amber one here is for the heating and hot water system, so if this is turned off and you're trying to run the Aldi system on main supply, it will not work. So really this can be left alone, it's more for maintenance than anything else. We then have the green one just here, which is for the battery charger. Again, if I turn that off now, I will not be able to charge the leisure battery from the main supply. If we have reverse polarity connected to the caravan, it will illuminate in red just here. You can sometimes find this on some continental sites. We have full system shutdown just here, so if we're not going to use the caravan for long periods of time, we can press it and kill any residual draw on the leisure battery. This will also turn the solar panel off as well, so you do have to weigh up your options. Select just here will just give you the condition of the leisure battery and the vehicle battery if you were hitched up. Nothing else can be got from here. You have to be a technician to be able to access it. We have the radio just here. So on and off on the source button. You have auxiliary just there. And then we have AM, FM. Search for radio stations or change tracks just here. Volume control in the centre. We have a nice easy graphic equaliser just there. CD in here and eject just here. We can also go into its menu just here if you just want to change treble, bass, etc. manually. And to turn it back off again, just hold. We have the Dometic fridge just here, on and off. Select your power source just here. So we have a little picture of a 2-pin plug just here, which is main supply. If we don't have mains, we can run it on gas. These particular fridges auto ignite themselves. If it fails to light, it will start to beep at you and you'll get a red flashing light just here. We then have a picture of a battery, which is 12-volt maintain for when we're towing. So this will keep the fridge cold whilst we're on the move. If I press this at the moment, we will get a beeping and a red flashing light because the engine isn't running and we're not connected up at the moment. If it fails to light on gas and you think it may just be due to some air in the system, you can press the button just here and it will then attempt to relight itself again. Temperature control just here. And then we have the removable freezer box at the top. It can be removed by the clips either side. Some of the gas isolation taps just in here. They are colour coded and then match on the little sticker just there, but quite frankly I say they can all stay on. If you do smell gas in the van, just go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. Microwave just here. So we have quick start just here and stop, and then we have all the normal power settings etc. just there. hob just here we have the electric hot plate, which like the microwave will work when you're hooked up to the main supply. It operates just here. And then we have the 3 gas rings, and that is just push in, twist and push the igniter. Beneath that we then have the grill, and then the oven beneath. Beneath the oven we have storage, but you'll also find a plug plugged in just there, which is for the hot plate. We have the television aerial plug-in points just here, so we have the aerial fly lead, 12 volt or main socket just there, and then the wires of the television just run through here down to where it can be mounted. And then also in this cupboard we have the solar panel regulator. We do not need to do anything with it. It will just smart charge the leisure battery as it's required. So you'll see that we have a solid green light at the moment, letting us know that the solar is in float mode at the moment. The leisure battery is at optimum capacity. Whenever it's actually popping a charge in, this green light will go to red, and this little flashing green light here is just indicating that there is UV light hitting the panel. Above my head just here we have the Omnivent fan. To operate, firstly wind to put the roof vent open, and then we have middle button just here to turn the unit on, and then we have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling, and it's variable fan speed just by pressing. Do make sure that all roof vents are down for travel. Smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm just here. Just press the buttons from time to time to make sure that they're fully operational. We then have the fixed bed, storage underneath it. And then beside it we have the wardrobe, and in the wardrobe we have the header tank for the Aldi heating system. Just make sure that the fluid level is between the minimum and the maximum, but always take your reading once the heating is up to temperature, as it will expand in the tank. If it does need topping up, you can do this yourself if you want to. Just unscrew, remove this section here. It's got a little pump on the bottom of it, so just draw it out and then add the top up solution. Do make sure that you are using the correct Aldi solution. And then also in here we have the digital amplifier for the television aerial. On and off just here. Control the boost just here. And then the actual aerial itself is here. So to use, undo the collar and then literally slide the mast up and then get it into the position that you require, and then lock it back into place again. The H is for horizontal. We can turn this tail here and flip the aerial into the vertical position if we need to do more additional tuning. Do make sure that the aerial is down for travel. We have the table just here, and then the washroom at the rear. So we have the shower cubicle just here. Do make sure that the shower screen is fully secure for travel. We then have the basin and the toilet just here. To open to the cassette, just slide across, push to flush, and then close to the cassette again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure nobody's left this open. And then we have level indicator just there for the cassette, so when it's full it will illuminate to let you know.